So everyone knows Toyota is the car to buy. Even Scotty Kilmer tells you so. And we're not done beating that dead horse. Let's get started. Speaking of dead horses, we're going to be doing a service on this vehicle today. This is a 2009 Toyota Camry XLE. And I have just purchased it for my youngest daughter. When it came time to purchase a vehicle for her, a GMC Terrain was not on the list. A Volvo was not on the list. You guys know, if I'm going to buy her a car, I don't want it broken every 30 days. Dad, I'm broke down. Dad, it's leaking coolant. I don't want to deal with that. And being that I don't want to deal with that, I coughed up the cash, the extra money, and I got her a Toyota. So before we dive too deep into this thing, we're going to go ahead and do a coolant exchange service on it, or a coolant flush. Let me grab my machine. This is a handy-dandy Turner Portaboy authentic funeral home human embalming machine. I got it from actually Cadillac Pat on the YouTube channel Home of Chrome. If you haven't checked out his channel, you should go check it out. Really cool channel. But he gave this to me. He promises me it's very good for coolant flushes. I just got it. I don't know if it even works or when the last time it was really used for its real intent. So I'm going to turn it on and see, does it even work? I don't even know what all these dials and things do. Here's a switch. Let me get this out of the way. I don't know what all that fluid is. Oh! What is that? It just sloshed all in the glass jar there, and it's all over. I don't even want to know what that is. Okay, we're not using this today. We're not doing a coolant flush right now. We are just going to look this car over. Forget about that. So thanks Cadillac Pat for the human embalming machine. Obviously it works. I don't know what that substance is and I don't want to know, so we'll deal with that on a later date. All jokes aside, obviously I'm not going to really do a coolant flush with a human embalming machine. I'm actually going to turn that into a fish tank. I've heard of people doing that. It's kind of crazy. Isn't it cool, Mrs. Wizard?
I guess, dear, I guess.
So, now back to the car. As you can hear, it's no muffler Newton. This guy that works over here does this every day. Kind of annoying, but anyways. Like I mentioned, it's a 2009. It has 178,000 miles on it. And I got it for $6,000. Which is actually very good because I searched at several other Camrys and they're 9, 10, 12, really expensive. And like I've mentioned in the past, if you're going to look for a Toyota, hurry up guy, go away. Thank you. So if you're going to buy a Toyota, you're going to pay more money. You're just going to pay more money. And there's a reason for that. Because society knows here in America, really all over the world, that means quality. It means it's probably not going to break down on you every 30 days. And you're going to pay for that. It's not perfect. There's a few things that do need to be done. There's some scuffs and things here or there on it. Let's go ahead and walk around this thing because I had Danielson check it over earlier just to give a quick look. He said I scored on this one. So let's see just how good it is. There is the pretty face of a Toyota Camry of this generation. It did have some cloudy headlamps, and we cleaned it up with .3 brake fluid. Yes, you heard that right. It just melts the yellowing off. And it worked flawlessly. Now they're crystal clear. There is a scuff right here, all the way down to the primer coat. Not that big of a deal. This is going to be a college girl's car. It's probably going to get a few more scrapes. The wheels are in decent shape. They're not perfect. You can see a few chips, but nothing horrendous. As you can see down this side, there's no scrapes or dents as we get past the front driver's door. Everything around the back is good except for a few scrapes on the bumper here, which looks like maybe some luggage or something scraped it, or who knows what happened there. You can see it is the XLE package, which is a little higher end package. As we go around to the other side, we will see that the wheels are nice there too. No dents, no rust, no scrapes. It's really in pretty good shape. All right, so let's go ahead and pop the hood on this thing. And here we have the 2GR FE, as stated on the engine cover, 3.5 liter V6. You can see underneath it is dusty, but it is not really dirty. It's not coated in oil. There's a little bit of seepage here where people have filled it with oil in prior oil changes and whatnot, and they probably spilled a little bit, but other than that, it is very dry up here. It just had a recent oil change. The oil is crystal clear and clean. I'm not going to mess with that for a while. The battery is from 2018, and although it is still working very well, it's getting to the age where I'm not going to trust it. We're getting into winter, very cold weather. I'm going to go ahead and put a brand new battery in for her. We can use that battery in the shop to test vehicles or to run a power probe or something like that. It's still good, but for how much longer, I don't know. And I just know if I skip on the battery and try to be cheap, it'll bite me. I'll get a phone call, Dad, my car won't start, or something like that on a 10-degree cold Kansas day. So we're just going to put a new battery in and call it good. I was hoping for a 4-cylinder, but when I got this deal, it's such good shape for $6 grand. It's like, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and get the V6. It will get about 30 or 31 on the highway. Probably 20 around town. It's much better than the SUV she's driving now, so I can't complain about that. And these have timing chains. They do not have timing belts, so I don't have to worry about a timing belt service either. These 2GR FEs are known to be bulletproof. They're fairly decent on gas. They're powerful. Very, very reliable. Let's go ahead and let Mrs. Wizard give you guys a tour of the interior, which is in very good shape.
So there it is, ladies, gents. It does say 178,000 miles, 461. So not a whole lot. And this is actually my first time seated in the driver's seat. The daughter's been driving it around and really been liking it. As you can see, it has a nice plastic dash up there that's in good shape. You can tell she's already chosen her scent. She thought the car had a bit of a funk to it, so she's already given it a bit of California in here. But as we move over, we can see it has a dark, has a light gray, has some lovely faux wood trim from the finest plastic trees on the planet over there on the door card. But again, looking good. And being that this is light leather and light plastic, you'll see that there's no marks, really no scratches, lots of little fun hidey holes. And hidey holes. And hidey holes, and all of them work. Notice they all open up nicely. One thing that we did think was kind of fun is over here on the side and on the other side, it's a nice little spot to keep that cell phone. And I'm definitely liking that she's already keeping it there. Keep it out of her hand and let her focus on the road. As we do look at our HVAC system, you'll see it is insanely simple. Not a lot going on here. She was a little upset that she didn't have Bluetooth, but we have a 12-volt, plug-in type that lets you connect through a radio station. So she's already got that. That's what's in her SUV right now. So pretty easy. And as we scroll down, you'll see, oh, there we go, heated seats. So that was nice the other day when we went driving, because these leather seats are a little chilly when they're cold. As I did mention, it is leather, and it is a nice dove gray. Got a little bit of bolster on the sides. They're quite comfortable. And the back seat, where the Wizard rode when the daughter took us to Walmart, where every family seems to go in the world, that he rode back there because he wasn't fast enough to call shotgun. Sorry, buddy. As we move up, headliner's good. No sags, no tears, no Cheeto fingers. Got a nice little slide back for our moonroof. One little spot, as I do see a little bit of stainage right there. Maybe she can tackle that. Not sure if she's even going to care too much, but it is there. So here we are, ending at that steering wheel. And this steering wheel actually has quite a bit going on, and kind of surprised her as well. She actually was quite shocked that she can adjust her temperature on the steering wheel. Bit different than what we've seen in a lot of cars. Does does have the ability to hang up a phone call. So she hasn't figured out how to get that connected yet. But again, she's only had it for like a day. So she hasn't had too much time. And well, we didn't let her drive it to school today because, well, the Wizard's got some things he needs to address. And that's where we're heading next. Let's get this up in the air.
We bought this car from a private individual, and I did check it over a little bit, and we went on a road test. I didn't really look under it too much. I noticed the engine bay was very clean, and I figured the bottom was as well. I didn't really want to insult them by trying to climb under it and do all that stuff. I figured if there's some small leaks or whatever, I do own a shop, I can probably fix it. I'm getting a really good deal here, so I kind of took a gamble. Let's see if it paid off. So you can see some curb scrapes here, or parking stall scrapes. This is the area where the radiator is. You can just look from the back side, nice and dry. Here's our oil pan, or oil filter, drain plug. Everything is dry. It looks like there's just the tiniest something that's taking years. I don't even know what that is. There's nothing there really. Here's the transmission, nice and dry. Not a leak anywhere. It is in very good shape underneath. Let's take a look at the brakes here. The fronts are about 50% gone. These tires, wow, these things are old. I noticed on the road test they were making noise like they were almost bald. And I bet that the date code on them is very, very old. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. Brakes are 50%. Nothing loose there. Sway bar link is good. The strut is nice and dry. You can see from an oil change where they cleaned everything off, they must have spilled something, but the front of the engine is immaculate, spotless. Very, very clean. Oh look, Mrs. Wizard, our catalytic converter's not been cut off.
Oh, that's good.
Wonderful. It does look like they hit a little something here on this resonator chamber. A little gouge. It looks like there's a gouge right here on this little frame connector piece. That's really not hurting anything. Let me move on back. There's another little dent on the exhaust. Whatever they hit at that one time must have went on down the line here. And here we are at the fuel tank. No leaks there, everything looks good. There's no rust going on at all on the rocker panels, the pinch weld, the floor pans. Not even one speck of rust anywhere. Our back brakes are down to about 20% remaining. We're going to go ahead and do the brakes all the way around, just so that we have a baseline on the brakes. This strut is dry. Sway bar link is good. Nothing loose there, and these tires in the back are really bad. Oof. They're almost to the wear bars. Same thing on the brakes here. Sway bar link is good. Nothing loose there. Tires are equally bad on this side as well. Definitely needs a set of tires. Here's our spare tire area, or our dual exhausts. Everything is stock. That's what I really like here, guys. Everything is stock like it left the factory. So before we get this on the ground, let's check the date code on the tire here, and you can see it's from 2018. So these tires are almost 5 years old. They're getting to be pretty long in the tooth, or short in the tread, actually. They make noise when you're driving. It's like wah, 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 wah. It's definitely a sign it's time for tires. So let's get this thing on the ground. So all in all, it appears I did very, very well. $6,000, which they originally wanted around $6,900. I talked them down because obviously it needs some tires. I did see the battery date code, and it was it's getting pretty old. I didn't want to trust it too much. And I said, based on a few things, and the brakes make a squealing noise, the squeakers as they call them, in the back. I said, I could give you $6,000, and they accepted, they took it, and we went ahead and did the deal. I did sell my 2012 Volkswagen Beetle, the silver one. I didn't have it very long. I did try again to do the stick shift thing, and it is probably the final stick shift I'll have. I don't keep them very long. I get really pissed off when I'm in the McDonald's drive-thru, and I have to keep doing my clutch, and I've been standing all day, and my knee's giving me trouble, and it just doesn't work. So automatics for me, I'm getting old.
Oh, so that means the 308's mine!
No!
It's a stick shift!
I can still drive that one.
You heard him, guys.
We'll see about that. There's lots of cars for $3,000 out there. You can get Pontiacs, you can get a Buick, you can get this or that. And a Buick LeSabre or something would be a really, really good car for her, but she said she didn't want to look like me, an old man. So I kind of sympathize with her on that. I agree. It's kind of an older person's car. A lot of people dream of buying their kid a Mustang or a Mercedes or something fancy, but the thing is, she's getting ready to go to college. She's going to be there for 4 years. I really don't want to be working on the car, like I mentioned, every 30 days. Something's broke, this is leaking, that's quit. I knew if I buy a Toyota, that negates at least 90% of that. No car is perfect. Every car will have some kind of a problem at some point. But these have the least likelihood of having problems. As you see, almost 180,000 miles, and there's not a drop of leak anywhere. It looks fairly new underneath, and it drives like a new car. Everything, and I underline that, everything on this car works. Every button, every switch, feature, option, bulb, everything works. It's a Toyota. That doesn't surprise me. Yes, you do spend a little bit more money. You can get a 2009 Chevy or a Ford Focus or something like that for $3,000 or $4,000. This is double that amount. You say, well, I just can't really spend that right now. You will spend that when you buy the cheaper Ford Focus and the CVT transmission burns up on you. You'll say, darn, I should have got the Toyota. I didn't even take that route. I just went ahead and got the Toyota. So that answers a question for people who are still asking me, what kind of car should I buy? This is why I did this video, a Toyota. If you're curious what kind of tools, actually not very many tools at all, we're going to use to fix this thing, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below. We get a small cut and I really appreciate it. And you will not find on my affiliates page the embalming machine. That's not going to be for sale, guys. You'll have to go to eBay for that. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because we got many more cool videos to come. We got a North Star video, some bus videos, all kinds of stuff. We just hit 800,000 subs. Thanks to you guys for that. We really appreciate that. Thanks for watching.